Hello, my name is Denny from class D, NPM 20071010 Uh, what is a relative clause? A relative clause is one kind of defined clause. It has a subject and a verb but can stand alone. As a stanch is sometimes called an adjective clause. Because it functions like an adjective, it gives more information about noun relative clause. Always begins with a relative pronoun, which substitutes for a noun phrase, or pronoun when stage are becoming. The relative pronouns are pronoun who stand for a people and use as substitutes for subject nouns pronouns he, she, we, and they. Whom stand forms of people substitutes for object nouns pronouns. Example like him, her, us, and them. Pronoun whose stand for people or things. Use subtitles for possessive nouns pronouns. Example his, her, our, their. Uh, Pronoun that stands for people for things. Use can be used for the age subject or object. Can only be used in relative clause and see below. Pronoun which stand for things and use can be used for either subject or object. Can be used in non-restrictive relative clause. And can also be used in relative clause. Touch some people don't like this as. Relative pronoun as subject in read. I like the person. The person was nice to me. I like the person who was nice to me. I had the dog. The dog bit me. I had the dog that bit me. I'm moving Louisville it home to Muhammad Ali Museum. I'm moving to Louisville Kai, which is home to Muhammad Ali Museum. Uh, Relative pronoun as object. I like the bike. My father gave me the bike. I like the bike that my father gave me. Relative clause. Relative clause give information that defines the noun, information that's necessary for a complete identification of the noun. Use that or which for noun. Human nouns use that or who. For human nouns, do not use a comments. I like the paintings. Which paintings? We can rarely define them without the relative clause. So we add the clause. The painting hangs in the shapes not a lobby. I like the painting that hang in the dustbin not a lobby. Or I like the painting which hang in the shapes not a lobby. Again, this is acceptable, but some people object to using which. In a relative clause that is a preferred. Student who study hard will do well in my class. Only this group of students will do well. Students whose grades are low can drop one test score. Only this group can drop a test score. When the noun is the object of the proposition, both noun and the propositions who move together to the front of the relative clause. In less formal English, it's a common. to move only the pronoun to the front of the clause. I spent hours talking with a person last night. I hope to hear from her. I hope I hear from the person with whom. I spent hours talking last night, more formal. Or, I hope to hear from the person whom. I spent hours talking with last night, less formal. Non-relative relative clause. This is type relative clause merely provides extra information. The information may be quite interesting in the important to later conversation, but is not essential for a precise identification of a noun that cannot be used a relative pronoun in a non-relative relative clause. Commas are always used the beginning and this is type of relative clause. Example, my mother is thinking of opening a restaurant. My mother is an excellent cook. My mother already a clearly defined noun, so the second stage become a non-relative relative clause of becomes of both sides. My mother, who is an excellent cook, is thinking is opening a restaurant. I'm planning to grow rose. I find the rose quite beautiful. I'm planning to grow rose, which I find quite beautiful. Not okay. I'm planning to grow rose that I find quite beautiful. I'm driving across the country with three small children. Driving across the country with the small children is going to be stressful. Thank you for watching.